Okay, so 11.6. So the whole goal is about uh, making, make. It's kind of like work, except it twists a little bit. Making, and canceling. So just draw a big X through it. Plans. And plan is you take both hands, plan. A lot of shadow back here. It's very odd. Okay, anyway. Okay, so the goals of this chapter is the first is going to be setting plans, discussing with someone, how do we set plans? Or, hey, do you want to do this? Or do you remember we set these plans up? Then the next is to canceling plans. And with each of these, it's going to incorporate in the practice, hey, remember we said we would do this, or do you want to do this? Like, so we're talking about reestablishing the plans, recounting them before we cancel them. And then the last part is sort of taking it from first person, second person onto third person. Oh, so I had these plans and then we had to cancel them. People talk to another person about something that we had set up, right? So it's going from, hey, want to do this with me? Yeah. Oh, hey, you know how we had this that I have to cancel, to, oh, I was supposed to do this thing and now I have to cancel. So same kind of ideas, but in three different directions. One is an expression of from me, the other is to the other person, and the third is recounting it to a third person. So if you can see the flow of that. So we'll get to the vocab in just a sec, but beach. Now there are two different ways that I've seen signed for beach. This is the way I learned it. So here's the shore and the waves are coming up and washing. Some people do it this way. So it's fingertip to fingertip. So it's just really rotating this. Either way. To invite, to offer, you'll also see it sometimes coming in. This with two hands is oftentimes welcome, as in welcome into this place, as opposed to you're welcome, which is, oh, go ahead, take it. Although people do sign you're welcome. So you will see both, even though this doesn't conceptually make all that much sense. We can get into invite and hire, to offer a job, to bring someone into the company. Those can both be, I'll offer you a job, or you bring you into the company. I'm hiring you. Right. So similar idea as in invitation or you're welcome. You can, hopefully that makes sense. So this is the playthrough of the conversation we're looking to do, where there's an invitation to join, to go somewhere, and the response either yes, except, or Friday can't, or tomorrow can't, or tomorrow maybe. And then, so it could be yes, except, I don't know, or no, can't, refuse. And then some sort of dialogue between, oh, so, okay, summarize, this is what we're going to do. Yes, bye-bye. Right. So this is what you'll see in the model conversations in the videos. So plans, so you're laying out this, we'll do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So you're laying out the plans. You can have a plan, or you can, it can be a verb when you did it once, or it can be, we're planning to join. We know, like inside, right? In. So here's a person and they jump. I'll join you. Join me. We'll join them. Join. It always goes into the hand. It shouldn't come out. So if you think about this being a person as opposed to, like, it's not a gun, it's a person. Sometimes you say participate with a P. Blah. blocked, prevented. I think a better way of signing it is this, and it's oftentimes what you say, I'm stuck, I can't do it. As a kid, when out in the woods, when we'd be hunting snakes, you would take a forked stick and so you didn't hurt it, you would just kind of trap it. So that's, I think, where stick. Oh, stuck. Conflict. Conflict. We know game, challenge. This is like face to face, right? Sports. So conflict is these two things are in direct conflict. They block each other. Oh my God, it's been a day of texting and messaging and craziness. Okay. Work. So conflict, no interest in. Who cares? The book does this one. It's a Y, and you kind of thumb your nose at it. I'm not sure what the original sign that it comes from is. Silly doesn't seem right. Silly. It almost seems like it comes from, oh, that sounds boring. Boring that. So my gut says that's where it comes from. Boring that. Or you're hanging up the phone. I don't want to talk about that. So no interest in. Cancel. Just draw next. Cancel. Hopefully by now we've covered sorry. Classroom, we definitely do. Online, I know there are vocab that I'm that normally come up in conversation. Aw shucks. It's kind of like that, but we give it another hand up. Darn it. Fantastic or perfect. And we know this for fantastic, right? Wonderful. Fantastic. But perfect, you'll sometimes see it with P's. Perfect, exact. Like perfectly. Again, these are very conceptual signs that I can't really no one really knows, or at least not been able to find any history of why these signs are the way they are. Perfect. This tends to be perfect as in, ooh, it just meshed. It's like this exact little, it's the right size thing to perfect. For general, ooh, perfect. Plan, perfect. So it's F hands. Okay, hope that makes sense. Perfect. And there's it's almost like a exclamation point. Right? It lands. It doesn't go right. Little bounce. Look forward to. Literally looking forward. Perfect conflict plan. The book has some. I want to make sure that I'm giving both any generic signs or Northeast Ohio signs and the ones from the book, which are more West Coast signs. So we got look forward to. Select a course of action. Make a decision. So we know what the sign for which is. We know that maybe it's like, maybe weighing this versus that. I don't know which one. When you finally make a decision, so to decide usually starts from think, decision. Sometimes people just go, ooh, I've decided. So the scales stop moving. Think, set. I'm not sure what I would call this. Take a look to see if there's another picture for shucks. Okay, yeah. Okay. So decide. It's also, if you notice, judge person, or verdict. The judge makes a decision. If you're going to go, we've learned with, right? Together, to be dating someone, we're together. So if we're going to go, the group's going to go together. So same idea, except it's more of a big group, right? So group of people. And it's not like C for class or group. Ugh, another G. It's a mass of people, just like a globe. So that group is moving together. Performance or show. So it's a backward circle. It goes up and back, alternating. For performance, show, actor. To last until, or to continue. Now, we know that this is now, right? So now is that timeline that's right in front of us. That ever-changing timeline. Continue is we're going to push that forward. So we'll flip the palms over, and sometimes you'll see it with the pinkies out. Most of the time, you'll just see it with the thumbs. Continue. It continues. And I touch my two thumbs together and push. Continue. It's in a last until. Promise. This is kind of a weird one. It's I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to lock it up. Kind of like we did with hide, but promise. I am going to say it, and then I'm going to lock it in a time capsule. So I promise. I've also seen cross my heart. I promise, right? Promise. 105. Promise. Proceed. Go ahead. Proceed. Take a look at the vocab for this next one. I've seen amusement park. I've seen for like a roller coaster. You get into the roller coaster and it goes. There's circus. There's a bunch of different signs for that. When was the last time you actually signed that? And especially in the time of quarantine right now, we're not signing that many big public spaces. So, entertainment. So, take a look at the video, and you'll see a more clear example. Public event, open ceremony. So you open it and take two X's and circle them for ceremony. Hang on one moment. Close this. Right. Construction. Now this looks kind of weird, but if you think about it, when you're building a building, you put one floor, next floor, next floor, next floor. So that's where we're getting building, right? Or construction. Ooh. It looks like it doesn't matter. But doesn't matter goes to the front. Build and construct goes up. Now, at this point, we would start using a calendar for today and pointing to things. But right now, I don't know what day you're watching this video, so that would be not very helpful. So let's sign today. You can sign now day, today, boom. The day can go up or down. You'll see both. Oftentimes it depends on where you're going, what the next sign is going to be. Or just now works. Oh, today. I'm going to go today. Tomorrow, it's an extended A from the dimples, from where the mustache joins forward. And yesterday goes backwards. Tomorrow, yesterday. You will sometimes see Y for yesterday. That tends to be a carryover for signed English. To kind of see how people learn. If they learn signed English, they tend to do a Y. Sometimes I will do that without even thinking about it being a Y. Then we start to put together things. We've got future and past, right? Future and past. We've used those generically before. So you can do future Monday, future Tuesday, future. So it's the next one, right? You can be more specific. 1 week, future Friday. 1 week future can also be this, where you sign week and then it moves in the front. 2 weeks, 2 weeks future. So what it's doing is it's just combining week and future. You could do 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks future on Friday. In 2 weeks on Friday, 2 weeks. We talked about the rule of 9, and now that we're dealing with weeks, we can start 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 weeks in the future. Beyond 5, it gets a little bit less clear. Most people will use 1 to 5 all the time. 6, 7, 8, 9, they don't use as much. They don't, and I think it's because the hand shapes are kind of confusing. 1 to 5 really easy to sort. So sometimes you're already putting it in 6 weeks. To all of a sudden add the future can be a little bit more confusing. You will see it though, and it depends on how comfortable the signer feels or how comfortable they think the viewer is. So sometimes people signing with you as an ASL3 student, they might not go that complex. They may separate the ideas. So just to be aware. Then we can add on. So next week, Friday morning, right? So the sun coming up in the morning. Here's the horizon and the sun coming up. Right? So now we can start incorporating this chain of ideas to go from a broad category of next week. Then we get to the day, and then the time of day, morning, noon, afternoon, night, right? Okay. Generally speaking, the concepts you'll notice, we start from the largest concepts and work our way to the most fine. It's the easiest way to stay connected. If you jump around within that, you can lose someone in confusion. So morning, afternoon, evening, night. You can have noon and midnight or midnight. Right? We did that one, I think, even in ASL 1. So take a look at these making plan videos. The first one is about accepting an invitation. Hey, do you want to do this? You want to join me? And then, yeah, why not? Okay, cool, we'll do that. The next one is, oh, I want to go, but have problem, have conflict, can't, right? So, ooh, problem with that day. So, and then they'll finalize a plan. Okay, fine, I can cancel the other thing, or I can change. And again, more questioning back and forth between the two of them in this video. Stuck. Now, I'm not sure if I think it's this one. I don't think it's the previous one where she signed stuck, but you'll see that stuck. Now here's making plans 4 where they decline the invitation. I can't do it. So again, here's the generic shape of the conversation. Best thing to do is just copy from the video. Pick one side and sign it back and forth. It'd be really nice if this book released one side of the conversation so you could practice with it. Maybe when we have copious free time, I'll record them. So again, we get back to days, and now I would go back and just ask questions about what are people's plans? When are you doing this, that, and the other thing? Nothing, right? Stuck at home. So we would get into more. I would throw out weird ideas. We would start talking about each other. Canceling plans. Now we're at the point where we're going to start talking about, oh, hey, remember we planned to do this? Have to cancel. And as always, they're trying to incorporate politeness. How do we go about doing it? Say, oh, explain why. So it's just a little bit more meat on those bones. And I included this in here. Actually, I should switch the order of these two. Put the positive first. Oh, hey, remember we planned on going to the beach? Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Right. So positive. And then, oh, I can't. Have to work. So specifically looking at canceled plans, if we're going to, the story now changes to that third person where you're telling someone else that we had to cancel the plans. Or that, like, oh, we had plans to do this and now I had to cancel them. So that's why they're sad. So talking about what was planned. Oh, I had this planned. Day, time, who, 3 of us were going to go, the 2 of us, the group, and describe the activity. Go skiing, go fishing, play games. Then, what came up? So now we're talking about conjunctions and the vocab for that. Oh, something went wrong, or something surprised me, something came up at the last minute. You'll see happen sometimes where it's 2 index fingers pointing forward, and then they kind of rotate flat. So the palm goes like you're closing something, but you're doing it with the index fingers. Happen. Mom went hospital. And then now you're adding a third person. Role shift to be the other person. Okay. So you're having a little dialogue with yourself. Stuff we've already done. And then there are a handful of mini dialogues, and I included the answers in here. So take a look at the questions. Go back and watch the video. And then I'm going to jump through each of the questions. But they're right here. And then the next thing, signs for thinking. 4 different signs in here. And we've got thinking about. I'm thinking. It's a single thought. I'm thinking about. Another one is if you're using all your fingers. This is one thought. I was thinking maybe I want Japanese food. But lots of thoughts, right? So it's multiple things. Thinking about maybe selling my car, buying a boat. Thinking about. But this is a thought occurred to me. I had an idea. And last, idea. Ooh, I have an idea. Hmm. Um, it can be suppose, what if, but most of the time it's a idea. And yes, it's an I, but it's also a tiny thought. Right. So watch Kylo Ren sign a few things. Then here are the four. So which applies to this? So it occurred to me. I'm going to go through these just because they're fun. So, did I put two? I guess I put two of those signs. I just remembered. Oh, drive. When you're driving into work or class, and you go, "Oh, I left the water on. Or left the gas burning. I wonder if she'll come." Thinking about, she come? I wonder. I'm thinking about adopting a baby. There's a lot more things to consider in this than just, I wonder, does she like me or not? Thurgle, yes. Thurgle, no. Wonder what she'll say. Sometimes you'll see this, and if you take the F and get your Adam's apple or the soft part of your, you don't have to actually grab the skin, but it's just up here. It's really more of a sign for curious. I wonder. I suppose. Thinking. Think. It occurred to me I have not paid my bills. Shit. Right? Oh, that's when a thought like literally smacks you between the eyes, right? Cool. So we've got more applications of these four. So play around, take a look at those. And then I got a couple more, translate the sentences. I was going to do lots of just different slides, adding them in, but now you can figure it out, right? So again, we come back to all that vocab, then all the videos from 11.5. So that's 11.5. It's a lot more discussion. So if you have someone you can practice with, that will be very helpful. Just kind of talk about what your Thanksgiving plans are. Talk about what your plans were pre-COVID. Like, I had all these plans for the summer. My spring break was all planned out last year, and then we went into lockdown. The new COVID. So start thinking about those things. I mean, there are obviously conversations you can have with each other. Make plans and then cancel them. I don't care. Swipe left. I think that's the correct way. Anyway, I don't know these things you kids are doing. You with your TikTok, Snapchats, and all that stuff. Anyway, all right. So that is 11. That's 11.6, and I need to switch out this last video. Okay. So that is the last thing I will do is change this to 11.6. Oh,